Thom Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. As if the news of the NSA's phone and internet spying weren't enough to worry us, the FBI has just admitted to using surveillance drones to spy on Americans on U.S. soil. During a congressional hearing on telephone data collection, FBI Director Robert Mueller said the agency is in the initial stages of developing privacy guidelines and has only used drones in a very, very minimal way. However, Americans are skeptical of such a description after being told that sweeping data collection was only a modest invasion of our privacy. Democratic Senator Mark Udall said he is, quote, concerned the FBI is deploying drone technology while only being in the initial stages of developing guidelines to protect Americans' privacy rights, end quote. Senator Udall explained that he understands drones have the potential, quote, to more efficiently and effectively perform law enforcement duties, end quote, but promised to do everything in his power to, quote, hold the FBI accountable and ensure its actions respect the U.S. Constitution, end quote. In keeping with the defense of NSA spying, Director Mueller urged Congress to consider national security before placing any limits on drone surveillance and data collection. He said, "Are you going to take the dots off the table, making it unavailable to you when you're trying to prevent the next terrorist attack?" Our nation is now at a crossroads of deciding how much privacy we're willing to give up in the name of security. As Benjamin Franklin said, those who would give up essential liberty to attain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. This won't be an easy debate. Stay tuned. In Screwed News, recently the Obama administration dropped its fight to restrict young women's access to emergency contraception. And less than 2 weeks later, anti-choice groups are already working to limit or ban Plan B on a state-by-state basis, just like conservatives have done with abortion, gay marriage, and immigration. Abortion opponents in Arkansas are pressuring state lawmakers to completely ban the so-called morning after pill or impose an age restriction on Plan B sales. State laws already allow pharmacists to refuse to sell Plan B if they have moral objections to its use. At least 24 states throughout our country have similar laws which allow pharmacies to deny women birth control or emergency contraception. Jerry Cox, the director of Arkansas's Christian Family Council, says the federal law now allows kids to get contraception as, using his phrase, as easily as they can buy candy out of the store. He's calling for the state to refuse any federal mandate on emergency contraception. Women's rights advocates cheered the administration's decision to ensure access to Plan B, but it appears their fight for reproductive choices will now continue in the states. In the best of the rest of the news, the Securities and Exchange Commission may soon be getting tougher on the banksters. SEC Chairman Mary Jo White said she is reversing the no-admit, no-deny practice, which allows the banksters to pay settlements without ever having to admit to their crimes. The decision comes only a month after Senator Elizabeth Warren inquired about the settlement policy and questioned why the SEC did not pursue prosecution of financial crimes. Chairman White announced the new policy at a Wall Street Journal event, but said it will not be applied to every case. The decision to deny a no-admit, no-deny settlement will depend on how much harm has been done to investors and how egregious is the fraud. News of White's announcement broke at virtually the same time lawmakers in the UK called for new criminal sanctions for those found guilty of reckless mismanagement in the financial sector. There is no indication that the SEC's enforcement policy change was purposefully timed to coincide with the British Parliament, but it appears that leaders on both sides of the pond think it's time that banksters start answering for their crimes. The state of Illinois just adopted our nation's strictest regulations on fracking. State lawmakers passed the legislation last month, and Governor Pat Quinn signed it into law on Monday. The new bill requires all oil and gas companies to register with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources and disclose many details about their drilling. During the state permit process, companies must describe how the well will be drilled, what volume and pressure of fluids they will use, how they will store waste, and what chemicals they will use during drilling. The new law also guarantees a 30-day public comment period for each new drilling permit and promises an investigation into any claims against companies that are suspected of polluting the water supply. Similar legislation is being considered in other states like Nebraska and California, but as of now, Illinois is the only state to require companies to disclose the chemicals that they use in their fracking process. Although many environmental groups oppose hydraulic fracturing altogether, they are hopeful that these common-sense regulations will be adopted by other states. And finally, immigration reform has sparked a heated debate in our nation, bringing issues like government spending and jobs to the forefront. Well, a new video from human rights organization Breakthrough is attempting breakthrough The intense immigration is attempting to break through the intense immigration debate using humor. The video depicts Lady Liberty sitting down with an immigrant worker trying to make the case for why she should be allowed to stay in our nation. During the video, she explains that she has over 120 years of experience, that is Lady Liberty, and is a symbol of American freedom. The video has quickly gone viral and has inspired Twitter hashtags like Deport the Statue and Take Liberty Back. One Twitter user wrote, "Have you seen the Statue of Liberty's papers?" While another said, "You come to the USA and who welcomes you? Some French lady." As with any great satirical work, some viewers found the Deport Lady Liberty campaign completely hilarious, and others seem to have trouble determining whether it's real. And that's the way it is today, Thursday, June 20th, 2013. I'm Thom Hartmann on the news.